Okay, hi everyone. We'll just wait for mm, some minutes before people join in. Hi, am I clearly audible, Chirag? I hope I'm audible. So we'll just start in another minute. Okay, we'll start in another minute. Let's just wait for some other people to join in. Hello, Rohit. Hello, Kriti. Right. So let's start. So in this video, I'll be talking about my journey. Hello, Tathu. I I hope you're doing good. And hi, everyone. Once again, I hope I'm audible to all of you, right? So, right. So let's start off with today's live session. So in this video, I am going to talk to you about what was my strategy and how did I enter IIFT New Delhi. So I started my preparation around 5 to 6 months prior to the exams happened, and I'm talking about full-fledged preparation. For me, full-fledged preparations were always anything which is greater than 3 hours a day. And greater than 3 hours a day, matlab one hour for verbal, 1 hour for quantitative ability, and 1 hour for LR. But what essentially happened to me is I was not a that student, not that good student for verbal. So मेरे साथ ऐसा होता था कि मैं ज़्यादा verbal पढ़ता नहीं था. So I did not solve a lot of RCs. I did not solve a lot of parajumbles and stuff. My strongest areas were always quantitative ability and logical reasoning, data interpretation, right? And so I always had to back myself up. Ki, I have to get into a good college, and that is the reason I always have to prepare well, right? Now, getting into a good college is not that easy, so you have to really prepare well. So in this video, I'm going to tell you about what my journey was all about. Okay, so as I told you, I started off for around 5 to 6 months prior of the exam date, which was November end, when I was taking the exam in 2017. So what essentially happened to me is I devoted a lot of time to quantitative ability and DILR in the beginning. I did not do a lot of verbal, but धीरे धीरे I understood that cat. So my present my primary focus was cat at the start. But धीरे धीरे, you will also come to know that you cannot only keep one option with you. You have to keep more options with you, because you might be having a bad day and things might change, right? So you always have to keep more options, and that was the reason for me to think that yes, I have to go for NMAT, I have to go for SNAP, I have to go for IFT, ZAT and TIS. So all the major exams, right? My only goal was to get into the top 15 B schools of India. That was my goal. So anywhere below that, maybe I would have prepared once more. So that is something which is the primary thing that you people have to keep in mind. You have to keep in mind that you have to end up in the top 15 or the top 20, whatever your wish is for, in the top 20 B schools, or let's say in the top 30 B schools. That is completely on you, and you have to take that call. And based on that call, your entire preparation would lie upon, right? The entire strategy would lie upon, right? uh, right. So I'll come to that, Swarna. So for this, in the 6 p.m. sessions, I and Gurpreet both would come, and the 3 p.m. sessions classes would be taken by both of us. But yeah, majority would be taken by me only, I presume. But the 6 p.m. sessions would be taken by him, right? Right. So let's come to this. So basically, what happened is So I mainly streamlined my options, right? I had the top 15 B schools in front of me and I wanted to go into that. So I had to strategize my preparation plan in accordance to that, right? And that is the reason why my strategy was very diverse. So, as you call a portfolio to be diverse, my strategy was very diverse. So, I did not prepare for only one exam, I prepared for all the exams simultaneously. So, let's say in the month of July, I was preparing for CAT, I was preparing for NMAT. And how did I prepare for all these exams simultaneously? Now, even if the major syllabus remains same, there are some things that are different, right? So, let's say NMAT is an exam where you have to focus more on the verbal part or the LR part rather than the quant part because you really want to score good in those sections. IFT is an exam where you have to really score a lot of marks because if you want to get into IFT New Delhi, and I don't know if you know this or not, but the through your exam, 55% of weightage is being taken. So if you have a good score in the exam, your chances of getting into IFT becomes really easy. For snap again, you have to have a very high score, right? So I started off my preparation only with a blunt thought that I need to score very well. I did not have any other thing that I need to go into this college or I need to go into this college, but I wanted to prepare well. And as I already tell students in my class that, IFT is an exam which is very strategical, right? You have to have a very good strategy to crack the exam. Not only a good sense of knowledge, but also a good sense of strategy, because in those 2 hours, you have to attempt maximum number of questions. And how do you attempt maximum number of questions? Only when you can strategize the entire paper, go for the easy questions and leave out the difficult questions, right? So that is how you strategize your entire paper, and that is what I was very good at doing, right? So when I took the exam in 2017, there was a slight difference in the paper pattern. The slight difference was that we were not told that all the sections had different cutoffs. So previously in 2016, what happened is VA and RC was a single section with a single cutoff. DI and LR was a single section with a single cutoff, right? GK section was very easy to understand. When I took the exam, there were six different sections, right? There were six different sections. That is quantitative ability, DI, LR, verbal ability, reading comprehension, and GK. And trust me on this, when I first looked at the paper, the GK section almost looked like an RC section. I got bamboozled. So what's happening? I couldn't understand because they were long RCs and you had questions. Maybe God knows, I don't remember them right now, but it completely made me anxious at what's happening, right? So IFT is. Has a good knack of throwing surprises, and you have to be ready for that. So that was the first surprise that I ended up having. Right. So, yes, since I already told you that I was very good at strategizing, so I strategized my paper nicely. Right. I was always good at quants and DI and LR. So my strategy was to score the maximum number of questions in quants, to attempt the maximum number of questions in LR and DI. IFT also has a knack of giving one section easy, one section difficult. So it completely depends upon the student if he understands which section is easy and difficult. So for when I took the exam, LR was easy, DI was a nightmare. And as far as I remember, the cutoff for DI would have been somewhere around less than zero point 0.5. So you get one question correct, you get zero point 0.5 in DI, sorry. But in that year's exam, you only have to get one question correct to clear the cutoff, and a lot of people could not clear the cutoff. Firstly, because they did not know that there were separate cutoffs for both the sections, DI and LR. And secondly, the paper was so difficult, doing even one question became very difficult for the students at that point in time. Right, so they switched into LR thinking that they only have one cutoff, right? So yeah, talking about strategy, how do you take the exam? It completely depends upon your strong points. So if you have seen previous year's IFT papers, they give you RCs which are very factual. Obviously they would be lengthy, but they're factual. So RC is the scoring area. If you are good with idioms, vocab, then verbal ability becomes a scoring area for you. If you can understand which is the easiest section between DL and LR as soon as possible. Going for the easiest section, going for more number of questions makes you crack the exam in a better way, right, than the others. If let's say there are two people, one could not understand which section is easy and the other could understand which section is easy, this person is definitely going to score more. That's normal, right, that's normal logic. So this is something that people need to understand, and it is to understand which questions are easy. See, since all the questions have the same amount of marks in a section, you don't get additional marks for doing a difficult question, and that is something you always have to keep in mind. You don't crack an exam doing difficult questions. So for IFT, you have to make sure that you get to identify the easy questions first, and then take the solve them, and then maybe later on go into the difficult questions or the more difficult ones. Astha, I'll be just telling this out, and give me around another 5 minutes, and then we can come back to the questions, right, everyone? So just give me around 5 more minutes, and then we can come back to the questions. Right. So yes, as I was talking, so strategy plays a very, very important role. So what you need to do is first think of what is your, or let's say take a SWOT analysis, make a SWOT analysis of your current scenario. What are the strongest areas, right? What are the weakest areas? In which areas can you improve your scores upon? What are the factor? What are the chapters where let's say NMAT or SNAP or IFT or CAT likes to ponder upon? The number of questions are higher, so that you can target those specific chapters and make sure you are good at them, right? That's the first step, taking a SWOT analysis. The second step is to understand what's your best strategy. So I always developed my strategies according to the exams, right? For let's say for a IIFT, what I did, I always tackled the quantitative ability section first, followed by the easier of DI or LR, and then the RC section, and then the GK section, and then a verbal ability section. The verbal ability section was always the last for me to ponder into, right? And that is something that is very much individualistic. So आप जहाँ पे easy going हो वही आपको choose करना चाहिए, because in that case it becomes easy for you to understand what your future steps would be like. What would you do after the 20 minutes is done? What would you do after an hour is done, right? So that is something I want you to prepare. So second was the taking strategy. Third is taking mocks. So when you are done with I would say 50% to 60% of the syllabus, take one mock, right? um Take one mock. And why am I taking to take one mock? This mock would more be into making a baseline. So ये तुम्हारा baseline होना चाहिए, a target कि इससे कम मैं नहीं लाऊंगा एग्जाम पे, ठीक है? जो भी आएगा, this is the minimum I can get in all the mocks and the exam all मिला के, ठीक है? This is the minimum marks. So with every mock, which I would say you should take every mock with a gap of 2 weeks. So with every mock, you should improve. And how to improve? You analyze what were the easy questions that you missed, what were the chapters that you missed. There are always a certain number of chapters, a certain number of questions that IFT loves to ponder upon. One is, you drop a ball from a height and it jumps up infinitely, and you need to calculate the total distance before the ball comes into rest, right? You would be getting questions on sequence and series where you need to put the value of n and find out the answer. Then questions pertaining to placement of balls in permutation and combination. So all those are important concepts, and they have been very regular at the paper. You can, if you have seen past year papers, these kind of questions are very regular, appear very regularly, right? So these are the things that you need to think about. So that's the second thing, strategizing your mock, analyzing your mocks. And the fourth thing is always keeping a confidence, right? So always think like this: if you cannot do it, who would? All the other 60,000 candidates who are taking the exam are people like you. Maybe they are just investing an hour extra or 2 hours extra as of now. And if you are looking for a bright future, if you are looking for a good future, I think you should definitely ponder upon these facts. Understand that yes, you have to study well in these months, in these 6 to 7 months to get a good score. Because if you get a good score, if you land up in a good college, then you are all set for your future, right? So nothing else would be difficult for you. Right, so that's the fourth thing. You have to always be self motivated, right? If not for yourself, think about your parents. Your parents will be really very, very happy when they see you in a very good B school, right? When they see you are standing on your own feet. So these are the things that you always have to keep in mind and keep pushing yourself to the goal. At times you might not be, at as such just 2 more minutes, 1 more minute, right? Just 1 more minute, right? So at times you might not be able to, you might saturate studying 3 4 hours a day, but these are the things that would help you go to the end goal, right? So always keep motivating yourself. That's really very much important. Right. Okay. So that was my story of how I prepared. So I took the exam. I had a 99.76 percentile. And after you have that much score, getting into the college becomes really easy. So you have to, even with an average GDPI, you crack the Delhi campus. So that's easy. If you have a very poor GDPI with that score, you might land up in Kolkata. But I don't think I don't have seen people in my batch not converting these calls after getting these amount of marks. So yeah, you have to get a very good score if you want to convert IIFT New Delhi or Kolkata. Right. So let's now take the questions. Astha has a question. Hello, sir. I will go for Alchemist to prepare for CAT. So would be any chance of getting IFT like these kind of colleges? See, it completely depends on how you prepare for the exam, right? So even if you're going to Alchemist, or let's say you're coming to us, a lot of things would depend upon you, right? Your diligence, your mentality, your hard work. So that doesn't make any much difference. You just need to prepare well. And what if I want to live in Delhi, want a best college in Delhi and job? Yeah, that's absolutely possible. You have to have a good score. That's it, right? Any course for IFT? Yeah, we do have a course for MBA 2020 that's running in the website itself. And I hope you already know that we are giving out 50% flat discounts on all our courses. So if you want to purchase anything, you can go to the website, purchase that. If you have any queries, any doubts, you can talk to us. We are always free to take care of that, right? I have to shortlist vernacular, guys. Sorry, I didn't get that, Ajinkya. Okay, how to prepare for GK? So in GK, uh, so Soresh, I see you are asking for IFT, right? So for GK, IFT has a knack of asking questions on books and authors, games and tournaments, right? Games and tournaments means awards, prizes. I'm talking about, right? Awards and prizes related to sportsmen and games. Then various headquarters and their logos of various organizations. Then right. Then you would be getting questions on rivers, land masses, so a bit of normal geography. Then you have questions on book. I already covered books and authors, right? So yeah, these are the important things that they ask. A bit of so all of these are the broader aspects. The last 1 year, current GK of last 1 year on these topics is perfectly cool. Right. I'm a national golfer with humanities background. Is that a good profile for IFT? Definitely. But yes, you also have to keep in mind that it's a good profile for any college, right? But what you have to keep in mind that IFT does not give you any bonus points, any brownie points if you come from humanities or something else, right? If you're an engineer, non-engineer, you are treated same. If it's only you are only treated better if you are a girl, so you get two marks for diversity factor, right? Okay. uh, any courses focusing on IFT? Yeah, we would be launching courses focusing on IFT, Bhakti. From where did I study GK? So I was studying GK from normal paper. I was reading 2 3 newspapers, just headlines, and I was seeing the bank PO exams. They have a lot of content on the current affairs. I was just reading that 1 to 2 months prior to the exam for like 5 to 10 minutes a day. But yeah, you have to be regular if you want to crack GK. So my goal was I just needed to clear the cutoff. I was not going towards the high end of clearing getting marks in GK. I just wanted to clear the cutoff. So my GK preparation was very limited. For people who have a good GK base and want to score a lot, I would rather suggest please download a news app so things would keep in your mind. And you can always consider looking into the PDFs that various bank examination websites give you, right? They are very exhaustive PDFs, but yeah, you always have to you know read a lot, right? um, I'm an engineer with decent academics. I'm planning to drop and give cat in 2020, yeah, it's a good decision. It's completely okay, but please do not make, please, there should not be any gap as such, long gap as such. So you could either do a course or get attached to an NGO just to verify, not tell the interviewers if you get a call that I did not do anything rather than sitting at home. So they don't like it that much. So please make sure you have something on your CV to tell them that, yeah, even if I was sitting at my home, I was doing this digital marketing course, or I was learning about Excel, or I was attached to this NGO working for them part time, anything, right? Hello sir, how to prove my experience if I'm getting salary in cash? So even if you're getting salary in cash, you can always have an experience letter, right, or a relieving letter. That would work. Right. What's your academic background? So I'm a BTech engineer. I'm a BTech engineer, and I completed my BTech in information technology. Right. My 10th marks was 9 CGPA. I got a 90 in 12th, and my in my undergrads I had a 7.55 CGPA. So 997 was my background. Can you share any books or sources for current affairs? As I already told you, right? Um, so what I'm from science background, will this create much difference? No. If you're from if you are from the science background, it's a bit easy for you for quants, right? You are good to go with quants rather than people who are coming from humanities because they have not studied quants for a long period of time. So what? Okay, done. What could be a safe percentile for a convert, right? So I always say this. Let's say the cutoff is X for your category, if you're general or SE or whatever category you belong to, your cutoff is X. If you score 30% more than your cutoff, so let's say if the cutoff is 30, if you score 40 marks, 30% more, you have a very good chance of converting to college, right? Anything beyond around the 30% extra excess mark is fine, right? Okay, that's really good. Could you please let me know that what should I do if this is going to be my initial phase of my preparation? As I told you, prepare with the basics. So almost all the B school exams have the same basics. 70% of all the B school exams have the same content, right? So prepare that as of now. And then towards the months of July, August, September, you need to focus your preparation a bit towards IFT. And how do you channelize that preparation? You need to see past year papers and what kind of questions do they ask. Get those kind of materials, rather get books which are available online which are persistent to IFT exam, right? And practice from that. Okay, something different, but I might get into defense forces. Seeing today's scenario, do you think it's going to be a job? Right. So this is a very good question, rather. That is the job market declining? Well, there's a global recession everywhere, right? So we cannot comment on that. But yes, just say there was a boom for engineering, there has been a recent boom for MBA as well. So there has been some sort of saturation. You never know if things are going south or they might improve. Right. So can you tell any website from where I can practice RC for cat? There are a lot of free websites. You can go to our website only. We launch tests daily. So if you're taking our tests daily, you are already practicing that, right? Have you seen people with gap years converting top B schools? Limited, but yes, I have. I have. So can you please tell about cutoffs as per the new process? I'm in online mock exam. Right. It depends upon year on year, Tathu. So I cannot be so sure about what would be the cutoff this year. But it depends upon the exam. You would get to know. So the moment you see 5 6 papers and their cutoffs, तुमको पता चल जाएगा कि अगर ऐसा पेपर है तो cutoff कितना होना चाहिए. Right? Which this newspaper? I was reading The Economist. I did not read the Hindu or Indian Express. You know, I don't know, but I never liked the Hindu any day. Hindustan Times was fine, I guess. I was reading that as well, I presume. How much weightage is given to IFT score in the final selection? 55% or more. 55% to 60% is what the last known, memorandum, I guess, what they released, notified 55 to 60, if I'm not wrong. Are there any B schools which do not care about academics? Yes, IFT is one. FMS is another, which do not care about your academics, but they only care about your, score in the exam. There are a lot of colleges which don't care about your academics, but yeah, majority of the IIMs, almost I would say all of the IIMs, take into consideration your academics. So if you have a poor academics, getting into IIM becomes difficult, and if you're an engineer and a male, then getting into an IIM becomes a myth, I feel. No, not that easy, but yeah, you need to prepare good to get into an IIM. I left my job in 2019, gave CAT 19, got 91. That's really good. I'll have a gap of 1.5 years. Right. So if you have this gap, Shreyash, I would rather say you have to do something out of it, right? Either digital marketing, online courses, or anything that you can justify that I was not sitting at home chup chap. I was doing these things. ठीक है for VA which sources to refer like for VA and IFT sources are very limited. I would rather suggest you to get a book for IFT. So they're a great source of inspiration. That's really nice. Okay, I just want to know for MBA prep and for IFT, also I am do I have to so which sem are you presently in? So I would say that if you have time, and whichever sem you are in, you can just kick off with the preparation, right? uh, there are a lot of books available online. Just search for IFT books. You have a lot of books that you might be getting online, right? If you have so you can drop a text to our support team. They might help you in that case. A DMS IIC Bangalore versus IIT Delhi. I would always go with IIT Delhi. They have much better placements. They have a better alumni network. Everything's good. I feel in IIT Delhi than IIC Bangalore, right? Uh, Second class resident in 12th, and currently I'm working software engineer. Yeah, you definitely can get a good MBA college. In that case, for root words, I would say you can go for normal use. Some daily habit you would suggest. Okay, so I always tell my students to do three things: solve 5 quantitative ability questions, solve one RC set, and do at least one DILR set every day. If you don't get this daily, things might not be in your favor when you take the exams. So what happens is you basically, keep in touch, right? Even so, this is very minimalistic. Doing one RC, one LRTI set, and 5 questions would hardly take you what 40 minutes in a day. If you cannot invest 40 minutes in a day, things would not be easy for you, right? Can a BCom plus MBA student pursue cybersecurity diploma course? Yes, they definitely can. Diploma courses are courses that anyone can pursue, right? Any other questions? Anything pertaining to the exam or strategy? Anything pertaining to that? So I have a mental block when it comes to quants. I can understand a lot of people have that. I work hard, but unlike an engineer, right? Okay. Do you think one can improve? Yeah, I feel it's really easy. You just need to have a proper mentor, a proper source to study, and your own diligence. You just need these three things: a proper mentor, a proper source to study, and your due diligence. Right? How can we increase our command on the verbal section and LRDI section? LRDI comes from practice. If you do not practice regularly, you won't be getting good at LRDI. For verbal, I would rather say you prepare more on root words, idioms, these kind of things. Always welcome, Bhaskar. Good quantity YouTube channel. So I don't know if you know this or not, but we have started sessions daily. So आज से ही start हो गया. आज मेरा class था on ratio proportion, right? We would be solving every day 10 to 15 questions every day. So keep subscribe to our channel and you can see that. हर दिन हम लोग upload करेंगे 10 to 15 questions on each chapter. So we are starting off with arithmetic, then we'll go to algebra, maybe geometry, and so on. Please tell us how to tackle GDAM person interview. Okay, so GDAM person interviews would completely depend upon your profile. GD में IFT में ये होता है that a topic is given to you, right? A topic is given to you, and then everyone needs to speak for a minute. They'll give you time for everyone to speak, and then you discuss. So that's the pattern of GD. So you get good points when it's your time to speak, and when you're discussing, two to three entries would be completely okay, right? And then your interview would depend upon your own profile. So whatever you have on your own profile, and they will also ask you for a SOP sheet on for questions from that. The entire interview would go on that. Sir, hi sir, can you please some free videos for cat preparation? As I already told you, you can go to our channel. There are a lot of videos, and there are other sources as well you can go into. Right? I used to read newspapers as well. Try to know. राइट सी मैं तो हमेशा ऐसा बोलूँगा कि आप ऐसे मत सोचो कि न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ने से ही यू वुड गेट अ गुड स्कोर इन वर्बल, राइट? यू नीड टू प्रिपेयर फॉर द एग्ज़ाम्स वर्बल। आईएफटी के वर्बल के लिए आपको प्रिपेयर करना पड़ेगा, ठीक है? सो फॉर दैट आई वुड रादर सजेस्ट यू टू गेट अ बुक which you can understand what kind of questions come in the exam, and then maybe, get that. How many hours should I dedicate to each section for CAT? Every day, at least one. Sir, I'm a GEM working in an IT company for 2.1 years at least now. Background is this. That's a good background. Okay, chances of so see, अगर मैं आपको बोलता हूँ you should target a 98, will you not be targeting more than that? You would definitely target more than that, right? So मैं जो भी बोलूँगा makes no sense. Your target should always be to be on the top, है ना? You should always target to get a very very good score, despite me telling you to get this or that. So your target should be completing the syllabus, taking mocks, preparing well, and get a very, very good score. That's it. How many? Okay, already answered. Were you working when you gave the MBA? No, I wasn't working. My college ended in August, and my job was to start from January. So thankfully, I got that period free. Right? Anything else? Cool. So thanks a lot, guys, for being with us, and please subscribe our channel and make sure you watch all the videos that we end up giving at 3 p.m. Right? Make sure you see all those videos because things are not good at the moment throughout the world due to the coronavirus, and that is the reason it's just a small thing from us that if we can help you people in studying, we'll be grateful as well, right? So please make sure you log into the channel, see the videos so we upload all the videos at 3 p.m. I mean the regular classes that we are talking about. So see that in around 6 p.m. we might come live at times, and yeah, that's it, right? Cats does not play that a good role. Gap, uh, yeah, if you have a gap, that's fine, but you need to make sure that you justify that to them, right? Fresher in the fifth semester, what would you suggest for profile? I'm in IT. Just do some online courses. One to learn Excel, maybe something about the basics of marketing and analytics. That's good to go. I'm from biology background. I'm planning to give CAT 2020. Yeah, it's definitely a good decision, Muskan. You should definitely look forward to the exam. Yeah? Chalo. So thanks a lot, guys, for being with us, and I really hope that you people are already taking care against the virus, because if you're not, please do not go out of your homes. Everything is available in your homes, right? So this is a sincere request from my end कि आप घर से ज़्यादा मत निकला करो. Stay at your homes and take care of yourselves, right? So yeah, that would be all. Take care of yourselves and have a very good day. Bye bye.